Welcome back. Today I wanted to do a lost day away video. I combed through my videos and I don't really see any videos where I'm working like a little ritual or a quick spell to teach you how to keep law away. Now, what I want to do first, I'm going to share a quick story. And listen, do not comment below talking about the video starts here or there. The video starts at 000. Okay, let me do my story time. Let me live. All right, and you listen. If you don't want to listen to it, then you can skip through and do what you got to do. So, along with working lost day away, I like to keep protective items in my car. And one particular night, me and my husband was out really late. It was like 6 in the morning, maybe going on to 7. It was still pretty dark, and my husband was in the back of the car sleeping like a newborn. I was in the front. I stopped at McDonald's. I got some food. My whole purse is scattered out in the front seat. I got my phone there. I think I was on the phone with my sister having a long conversation. So when the phone ended up dying, I'm like, okay, let me just drive. I want to get home. I want to finish this conversation. Plus, it was one of those situations where I didn't know if sleepiness was going to hit me in the midst of that. And I had so much energy that I said, you know what, let me just make it home. So it's about literally like 5 people on the highway, and everybody's keeping up at the same pace. So I'm coming from Philadelphia, and I'm coming from Philly, and I'm in Princeton area. I'm in the Princeton area. If you know the area, like around 1, I'm in that area right now. And you know, in that area, there's on the highway, there's little corridors, like little bends where a whole car could fit. So driving down on that highway now, there's a few of those, and I'm paying attention to every single thing. I'm eating apple pies like a fat slob in the car. Like I'm just in my own world. I'm listening to music, and I am doing a number. I am. The people in front of me was taking like kind of long, and I was like, you know what? Let me cut through these motherfuckers. Let me hurry up. I want to get home. I just want to try to get home. I just want to go home. I don't want to be on the highway anymore. We hadn't slept in almost 24 hours. We done broke night. He's sleeping like a newborn, and I'm like, all right, I want to get home. I want to sleep like a baby too. So I'm driving, taking my time. Then, it got to that point. I didn't want to take my time no more. I wanted to go. I wanted to, push forward. So I'm pushing forward. I'm like, you know what? Something told me, because the spirit said, listen, sis, take your time. What's the rush? I should have listened to the spirit then, but I was like, nah, I'm tired. I'm tired of being on the highway driving. I don't want to be here. I wasn't tired, but just tired of driving. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. So I'm seeing the little bends. Everybody's taking their time. Now, I decided, even after the spirit came through again and said, sis, don't do it. Take your time. And normally, like I never, it's a situation, knock on wood, I never get tickets. Like, I don't put myself in a situation to get caught up in anything like that. Like, no tickets for me. So I'm like, all right. And honestly, if it's a ticket, it's for something stupid. Like, oh, your windows is too tinted. Excuse me? You know how many years I had these windows tinted? You now decide to give me a ticket? Just something stupid, but never nothing for speeding. It's always, I'm in the car, like something dumb that I could get out of. So this situation, I'm at the point, I'm just getting tired of driving, and I just want to be home. I want to get back in the house, gossip on the phone with my sister and whatnot. So I just want to go home. The spirit came through 2 times. I didn't listen to the spirit. I was like, no, I want to just go. I can get there. If I bust up the speed a little bit, I can get there in half the amount of time. I can. I've done it before. So I said, all right, go. I'm doing it. I'm still eating. I got a bunch of shit. I had stopped at McDonald's. I was going to have to clean the car because I was just eating. I know crumbs was coming all over the place, but I was just like, let me just go enjoy my life, eat. And, then when I get home, all I got to do is go straight to sleep and gossip in between the sleep on the phone with my sister. Like, sleep, talk, fall asleep. And she called back, oh, shit, I forgot you was on there. And just keep going. Like, I had a plan of what I was going to do. So I'm busting it down. When I tell you busting it down, I'm busting it down. Now, I saw the corridors from far. Everything was clear. But something came. I don't know what happened. Something changed the whole situation, because now I'm driving, right? And the cop car decided he was going to face my direction in that little corridor. That's what fucked me up. That's what fucked me up. And I'm like, oh shit. Now I saw him now. I had more than enough time to brake, right? And in the midst of me seeing him, I feel like he was kind of unsure on if I was speeding or not too. Because he was in that car doing something else. So I'm like, shit. I slowed down. I slowed down to like, I went down. Let's just say that. I went down, I went down. All right. So I went down. I'm like, oh my God, why? So, of course, he pulls up behind me. I'm like, motherfucker. So, of course, you can't see shit in my car. Nothing. You as close as you can be, you can't see nothing, absolutely nothing. Not a motherfucker in there. So, he knocks on the door. He goes on the passenger side. And, he sees the food in the car and the purse scattered there. And he sees me. He's like, oh, she's cute. So, I'm like, hey, he was like, why I pulled you over? No. What happened? No, amnesia. You was doing, he told me I was doing 69 back there. I said, I looked at the odometer like it was supposed to change something. Oh, really? I'm like, I didn't know that. And when I seen him, this is where the spirit came back in again. When I seen him position himself, I said, okay, I got this. So, I was acting like a single woman up in the front seat. So, he takes my ID and the registration shit, and he said, I'm going to be right back. I said, the fuck you will be. I told my husband, I said, shut up, do not move, do not talk, do not do nothing. I threw my coat on him. My chances, nobody's fucking up my ticket, okay? Nothing. He came back, I knew if he would have saw my husband back there, the whole situation would have changed. I knew it. So at this particular moment, I had to cover up a few things. There was a whole man sleeping in the back of the car. But you cannot see into my car at all, nothing. Threw the coat back there, positioned myself too, because, we was both positioning ourselves, and he was like, how you doing tonight? I was like, I'm okay, I'm doing good, just heading home from, my sister's get together and stuff, just trying to get back home to go to work, how it is for women some days. And he was like, yeah? Wow, so you come out here a lot? I said, I'm always working, so it's just like, I can't really do much, just working. He was like, wow, that's good. And then he's just like, he can't say nothing. And he was like, it was just a long pause, and I was like, yes, look at you. I said, look at you. I said, spirit, get him. Just do whatever you got to do. So I have protection stuff in the car that I decided I wanted to rub on at the particular moment. And he was like, that's nice. It's really nice. I said, yeah, a friend of mine made it for me, for the car and stuff, so, because she knows I'm always alone driving and stuff. And, it's dangerous out here alone at night, by yourself as a woman, in the car single, whatever I had to say. It was just, it had to be the spirit in me just coaching me, telling me what to say. And when he leaned on the car and touched it at the top, I'm like, oh shit. I said, wow. He said, well, you know what I'm gonna do for you today? I'm not gonna give you a ticket for speeding. I actually feel like he didn't know if I was speeding or not, because when we met eyes and I passed him and he saw me, it was a connection there. And he knew that he wasn't paying attention either, but he knew I was doing something. He just didn't know what. I think he clocked me when I passed, going a little bit faster when I slowed down, but he was kind of unsure on what the situation was. So I said, okay. And he said, I'm going to be right back. Took him like a minute, came back. He said, you know what? I'm going to give you a ticket for having this thing here in the window. I said, what? What thing? I said, this? I laughed to myself. I said to the thing, I said, bitch, you supposed to protect me. You supposed to protect me. He said, it's not going to be much. He gave me 2 tickets. One for obstructing the window, which was the thing in that, the protection stuff I had in the window. It was 2. It was both for like the same thing. And me, of course, I'm about to sit there arguing with this man talking about, you know that's not. And he said, listen, babe. When he said, listen, babe, I just said, yes. He said, listen, next time you out here, give me a call. I'm going to put my number on a separate paper, and, maybe we can hang out, and, with your sister and, different things. And I said, sure. Because that was the spirit silencing me, telling me, shut the fuck up. Take the ticket for whatever it is. It wasn't for speeding at all. So I said, all right, okay, thank you. He said, you take care. I'm going to watch you leave. I said, all right. He said, don't speed. Don't go too fast. I might have to catch you again. I said, my God. That was the law. Stay away. I said, are you doing this? So, of course, I closed the windows. I'm taking my time. And in between that time, my husband probably fell back asleep again. So, I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. And I wanted to call my sister so desperately, but the phone was dead, and I didn't have no charger. And I'm like, oh, my God. So, I'm like, okay. In my mind right there, I'm like, oh, my God. But I'm having a conversation now with my protection piece. And I'm like, listen, you're supposed to make sure I don't. And it's like, I'm having a conversation with myself because I'm like, why you couldn't just get it down to one ticket? Why you have now got two tickets for you, and now the situation. I say, you know what, fuck it. I ain't even gonna stress it. What I did end up doing with those tickets was I put them inside of. I have like a book of protection, and no lie, them tickets didn't get paid for like a whole year. And when the next summer rolled around, they started sending notices. Only when I took it out of the book. I didn't even get charged. You know how they charge you late fees and all of that? And I was like, come on, Spirit. And the Spirit was like, bitch, just pay the fucking $100, bitch. Bitch, pay the fucking $100. And that's it. I was like, damn, man. I end up paying it. But, short story long, I was like, oh my God. I'm in the car. I'm like, oh my God. So then I told my husband, I said, listen. I said, I got out of this, of course. Of course I got out of this. He's still in a sleeping up situation. And but we did end up getting home. I explained to him the situation and whatnot. And I said, thank God that I threw my coat on you and you was hidden, because if he would have saw you, I would have got a ticket. And if I would have got a ticket, I honestly don't know how much I would have got. The ticket would have been for speeding like up in the past 69 or whatever he said that he caught me doing. But I don't really think he really saw me doing it. But the law stay away is what saved my ass. That, the cuteness, smelling good, just looking nice, just looking just real sharp and shit. All of that combined together. That's why I be telling y'all, look good. I don't care if y'all going to the supermarket to get some potatoes. Make sure you look good in every single situation. You don't know what is going to happen. Always keep your law stay away happening. You don't know when and what particular situation you are going to need a law stay away to really, really fluctuate through your life. Another situation that happened, I had got, listen, I take this road every single day to work. Late, of course, because I hated my boss. I hated my job. I was just there because I knew I was going to leave anyway. This was like the last week that I had to be there. And I was like, you know what? After this, I'm leaving. Fuck him. He's a bastard, piece of shit. So I'm late again like usual. This was a natural thing. But of course, he was not trying to fire me for nothing. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to have to leave this job. This motherfucker don't want everything. What more can I do to get fired? Don't want to do nothing. Late every day, later than usual sometimes. And I'm like, my God. So I'm going to work, and I pulled my window down, okay? Because I saw the cop at the corner. I'm got to go around the bend and come back around. They pull me over. And, he's like, oh, talking to me and everything. And then he's like, oh, you work there? Oh, my God. Wow. And he's having a whole conversation with me like he's not going to give me a ticket. And he's like, oh, you from such and such place? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, and the windows could be tinted that dark? And I said, yeah, of course. I had my windows tinted like this for the longest, and nobody never harassed me, stopped me before going to work or anything. So he started laughing and whatnot. I did get a ticket. That ticket went right in that book. Let me tell you something. When I did go to get that ticket out of that book, it was so faded. You have no idea. It was faded. I said, let me see how good this works. It's like a protection book that I make for stuff. Let me tell you something. I burned the law stay away on that as well. Let me tell you something. When I called in, they was like, we have no record of this ticket, ma'am. Are you sure? They started questioning me like, ma'am, are you sure? Are you positive they gave you a ticket? Are you correct? Or what's the offer? Does the officer's badge number on? There's anything? We don't have no record of your license plate. We have no record of this at all. So I know that's the law stay away kicking ass. Now another story I want to tell you. This is the last one. So one of my customers needed to get an apartment within a particular time frame. and she needed to, like, she wanted them not to do any background check. She didn't have like sufficient credit for this because this was like one of her first big apartments and everything, and they was gonna do like, you know, credit check, they was gonna do apartment check, they was gonna do employment check, all of that, everything. So I decided, you know what, let me do some work for her. Let me do some law stay away. Okay? Let me work a few little rituals for her to help them bypass and be blindsided by anything that they needed, the credentials that they needed for this apartment. Lo and behold, did the work. Week 4, she calls. She's like, they called me, they're telling me, you know, just come and look at apartments. I said, and what else are they asking you for? She said, nothing else. She filled out the application in there, right? They didn't even want the $150 for the credit check, the back. They don't want that. They didn't want that. So I said, listen, we're gonna take this with a grain of salt, and we're gonna use it as much as we can to your capability. Okay? Now, it just so happened that the realtor is a really nice looking guy. And on top of that, the realtor had a fee, a $900 fee, that broker fee. Yes. So she's being able to bypass the law. She's being able to bypass background check, credit check. She's being able to bypass every single thing that they needed for this apartment. Week 2 gone by that she's looking at apartments, and she called me. She said, I think we could work this to my advantage. I said, what are you thinking? She said, let's work the realtor. I said, yeah, let's do it. Let's work the realtor. You know, let's sweeten him. She said, no. Let's work the realtor to be sweet to me, but in a different way. I said, that's my bitch. I said, you're learning really, really, really well. So she decided to work the realtor to like her. Forget about liking her to give her an apartment. No. Like her. Man, week 3 done came, and they found an apartment, and he's already behaving a little funny. He's behaving a little weird. I'm working him. She is working him. This is a nonstop situation. Now, 2 months had went by from the time I initially started working him, and 4 weeks had went by to now, to where she had been looking at apartments. And this man is beginning to really sweeten up. He calls her every day. He's checking in on her. When she called me and told me that he said he's waiving the fee and he's going to hold any apartment, I said, that's where you got him now. I said, but now he's going to know where you live. I said, we can't have a stalker on your hands. No, we can't have a stalker on your hands. I said, listen, let's settle in, get the apartment, do everything you got to do first, and then I have to work him back out. Because we can't have him knowing where you live and then showing up at your door acting like a crazy freakazoid. So he decides to hold the apartment that she really wanted, the most expensive one. That realtor fee got waived. Not only did the realtor fee got waived, but he was able to work something out with the landlord so that the first month's rent special that they normally had that expired in the summertime, so that he was able to work her into that. So no first month's rent, no broker's fee, and now he feeling sweeter than brown sugar. I said, listen, get the place, settle in, keep him a little round for a bit, and you know, that'll give me enough time to push him right back out. I mean, he know where you live at now. So she was like, you know what? Don't do nothing. Leave him like that. Leave him just like that. I said, so you want to leave him like that? I said, what you planning? What you trying to make him pay your rent? Yes, sir. Yes, she was. Not only his first month rent taken care of, but he decided that he wanted to be whatever. He decided that he wanted to extend himself and help with furniture and the second month's rent. I said, listen, he gonna kill you up in there. I said, listen, you better push him back out. Start pushing him back out. I said, you cannot. I said, listen, he is being heavily worked right now, and it is gonna be too much for you to get rid of him. You're gonna have to push him back out. So I started doing some, lines and stuff as an initial start, just to see how he would behave. He stopped texting as much. That's the only thing that happened with the lives. Because sometimes with lives, some people they could break through it, especially considering their emotions and their feelings. So sometimes a jar is much better. But I didn't want to go in with a jar to sour him, because he didn't do nothing to nobody to be soured. And I didn't want to I didn't want him to just be fully cold in a way. So we both started working stay away candles, and I decided to start working his head as well, because I did find out he is a married man. So I just started, making him feel real guilty. And he called, like, this is month 3, and he's like, I'm sorry, I've been leading you on. And I'm like, leading you? I said, listen, girl, let him feel as guilty as possible. He been paying a rent, paying a bill. He haven't even gotten a date from you. He haven't even gotten a kiss from you. Like, he has gotten no kind of physical altercations with you. His emotions are really tied up in the situation. Let's continue to work him to be real guilty. He kept calling, and then he said, I feel like I need to end this with you, because he was in this relationship by himself. Let's be honest. He was in this total relationship by himself. She wasn't giving him nothing of what he wanted, except she was getting a lot of different things from him. And I wanted her to cut the relationship out too, because he would have continued pushing and pushing until, he got what he wanted from her, which was something. Be it sex, be it a date, be it a kiss, be it him coming over. He would eventually wanted something, because he was really, really nice. But I told her, I said, listen, you got to push him back out now. He knows where you live. He's, let's make him keep feeling guilty. Now, month 4, he really pulled himself back. There was no calls. There was one text, and he said, I'm sorry I led you on. I should have never did this. I was a married man. I know better and whatnot. But, long story short, she got what she needed. There are certain things you're going to have to do when you work in witchcraft to gain the things you want. You have to push certain, like if there's an apartment that you want, you got to get that person evicted. You're going to have to find a way to remove this person, make them stop paying their rent so that you can get in. And it may be a situation where you have to hurt somebody, but there are certain situations where you're going to have to do certain things, and you can feel a little bit guilty. You can feel guilty. But you got to understand that you don't necessarily have to, it was fun and all that, but I wanted her to kind of pull away too, because I knew where this was going, because his feelings, he was catching them. Every time I did work on him, he was quickly calling. He was too quick with it. He was catching emotions. So I know this was the first time he had ever been worked. And virgin to witchcraft, they take on the heat really quick. And if the person that you're working is a virgin to witchcraft, you can take fully advantage of them. Now, you don't necessarily want to. You don't have to. Not everything in witchcraft is manipulation, but it's going to come to a point in time where if there is something that you want and need, like if you need that $5,000 and you want to find it, somebody going to have to be at loss of $5,000 for you. There's a particular car you want, but there's only one left, and it's between you and another customer there. That this person is gonna have to lose this car for you to gain it. There's gonna be a lot of different instances in which you're gonna have to put someone at a loss so you could be at a gate. So let's get into the ritual. Blue is really great for lost stay away. It's always really good. You can use yellow for court case. You can use brown for court case. For this particular situation, you want to evade people from coming around you. From speeding, from tickets, from any situation with your bedroom, where you do stuff in your bedroom and you don't want nobody to come in, like any kind of law situation. Even if you have like a management situation where they come in your building, law stay away will work great as well. Evading background checks for work, evading background checks for an apartment, anything in which you got to fill out an apartment and you don't want them to see. Even if you got to be drug tested, that law stay away, you should be working it on a consistent basis. And it's not going to work for somebody that's just going to pick up a candle and say, oh, I'm going to work a law stay away. Those results are going to be much different. You're not going to see of anything, because this is the first time you're lighting candles. This is the first time you're working a ritual or a spell. You have to be able to build up enough energy around the spirits among you so that things can take enough time to come into effect in your life. So always give things at least, let me say, 30 to 45 days, start working things before they happen. Now, if it's a short-term situation where you need somebody right away, then you go to a practitioner, you go to a root worker, you go to a witch, you go to somebody that practices magic. Let them read you first and see if that situation can be changed. Because of what a lot of people are doing, they're just taking on the case. Oh, let me do it. And then you get fucked over when you don't get the results that you want. Now, there are situations and instances where you take on the case, things change. This person now is getting themselves worked. You're backed against a lot of different heaviness and negativity as you begin to work the spell. So there are situations where things can change, but you want to always keep an eye out on what you're doing. You do want to. So make sure that if it's a short-term situation that you get a reading to see what's happening. But always give yourself enough time. If you know that drug test is coming in 2 months, try to slow down doing whatever drugs you're doing. And then work the law, stay away. So they can leave you alone in case there's any traces in there. But there are certain situations where you're going to be working law, stay away. You can't just go pull out guns on people and have a bunch of robberies at night and then think you can work a law, stay away, and that energy is going to keep you protected and shielded. No, it doesn't work at that. You got to work like that. You got to use your brain. You got to think through certain things, because then you're going to put yourself to be in a situation to where you're not going to see nothing happening at all for you. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to put black soul all around her. And if you are a man, then use the blue male candle and, work it like that, male or female. The black salt is going to keep a source of protection around you. It's going to keep away negativity. I like to use black salt as well when I'm working on black skulls to keep that energy in there for that particular person. Whatever you ask the salt to do, it will do. Pray over your soul, bless your soul, and ask your soul to do certain things. So this soul, I want the soul in this particular situation to help keep away the negativity of any law enforcement, of any law officers, of anyone in any particular law situation, so that, the person on the inside, so she could be mentally, physically, and emotionally shielded and protected by all means. So black soul is going to go in here. A ring of it will go around. What I did was I crushed up some fennel, tansy, and elderberries. I'm going to keep crushing them till the elderberries are like of a black substance. And that is good for keeping law officials away. What you can do as well, you can crush this and put this in a mojo bag. It can go at the bottom of your shoes. It can go in your pants pockets that you wear. You may have a favorite pair of jeans that you be at the corner slinging with. It may be a situation where you work late at night and you a late night worker. You want to keep this in your purse for the ladies. It could be a situation where you do a lot of speeding and you keep getting tickets. Spread it around in the car, in the trunk. Keep it under your rug in front of the house or in your bedroom underneath the bed. For any particular situation, whenever you're working on something, you want to work the full ritual. So you want to use the herbs. You want to use the black salt. You want to use the oils. You want to use Lost Stay Away oils. And you want to combine it. You can use protection oil with it as well. So I've crushed down the elderberries a lot. I'm going to crush down them a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my Lost Stay Away oil and mix this in here. I want to make like a little paste with the herbs. Not too much oil, so you'll put the Lost Stay Away oil inside your mortar and pestle. Blend it up. Then you take my Lost Stay Away herbs, okay? You take my Lost Stay Away herbs. The woman, you remove her, because you're going to start writing a petition on her. On her directly. You don't need a petition paper. Lost Stay Away herbs. Then I'm going to take the paste and I'm going to spread this all over her. It has oil in it already, so you don't need to add any more oils or anything extra on her. And in a situation where you keep getting yourself, you know, involved with the law, do a good cleansing. Do a good cleansing, and you're gonna keep working lost day way candles. Use the glass candles. Use like a 9-day candle, and you want to keep those going as well as with the image candles. When your image candles are burning through, watch the wax. Watch how it's dripping. Watch every single thing. Watch even the remains and stuff and the signs that it's leaving with the wax remains. Now for this candle, you're gonna do a few things. You can write up a petition that you're gonna read off and say all the time as you light it, but you can also work with the Psalms, which is really good. So for this particular situation for lost day weight, let me see right off my head, Psalms 20. And how does Psalms 20 start? Psalms 20 is like something like, the Lord hear thee in the day of the trouble, the name of the God of Jacob defend thee, send thee help from the sanctuary, and the strengthen thee out of Zion. That is Psalms you continuously say. You say it all the time. I know a lot of Psalms in my head, maybe like 100 or so, maybe more than 100. So I use these verses all the time. So I get used to saying them. I know them all the time. Anytime I want to say, you know, do a ritual or prayer, I just think about different Psalms, and I know them by the numbers and what they're associated with. So Psalms 20 is of a great Psalms. If you know that you put yourself in danger on a consistent basis, you work late at night, you're out on the street, you are doing things at home, you don't want, you know, management coming in your building, you don't want the landlord coming in your house. It's great for the landlord as well. You don't want anyone in that particular nature to come in your home, because then guess what? Then he could call the police for you, right? So that person staying away as well, or her, the landlady, yes, is perfect as well. If you do a lot of candle work in your home and you want to keep people away, you create a ritual using a black salt candles and spread black salt at each corner of the doors, and then you place a 5 spot on the door in the middle and at every corner with fairy wall of protection. Keep fairy wall of protection candles burning. As you burn them, ask for your enemies and anyone negative coming in your way to be burnt to. You want to work rituals with fairy wall. You want to work with cast off evil. You want to work with devil be gone. Mix that in with your lost day away. And if you're in a situation where you're tied up and caught up in court cases and whatnot, keep your justice candles going. Keep court case candles going, and confuse the opponent. Work the opponent, and depending on how many people are against you, there are situations where it's best to just work the judge. Work on her head. Do some research to see what type of judge she is. Do some research to see what type of cases she has won. Do some research to see things about her on Facebook. So you're gonna have to do a lot of background when it comes to working on particular people, because many judges are protected as well. I do work for judges so they can be protected from cases and whatnot. So there are situations where people that you're going to work on cannot be touched because they're protected. Some judges, they want to be protected 365, back to back to back to back. So if you're working on someone and your hand is too light, then you consult with somebody else. Work with someone that's familiar with the trade. A lot of people, they can't work lost day away. They can't work court cases. Court cases become complex because of the amount of different things that start to show up in between the cases. A lot of different changes come up. Oh, we got this evidence against you. Oh, we got this on you. Or this came up. You did this when you was this age. So you want to make sure that you keep yourself protected. You want to make sure you're pushing away a lot of things. The lost day away is going to create a bubble, a shield, and a ring of protection around you. If you know in your home you be doing all types of shit, you know, keep the whole home protected all the time. You want to work numerous amounts of candles. One candle is not going to be sufficient enough to be protecting every single person in your home. You're going to have to work in a ritual, something which is longer. You're praying every day. And or, you see, I offer lights. You can have lights set back to back, because those lights, every time one goes out, one is lit. One goes out, one is lit. So that energy is constant. It's always there. It's always being pushed through. So if it is a situation where you feel you can work on yourself, yes, work the image candles. Work them every single time you finish one spell. Do another. You want to build your energy? Keep working spells. Get a reading on yourself to see if you have any power, if you're too weak, if there's any enemies against you that are coming against you. You want to be able to see every single angle. You don't want to be blindsided by any means. You want to make sure you protect the car, protect your body, protect the home, protect every single thing that you are putting yourself in. And if you consistently keep getting yourself in trouble, the lost stayaways are not going to be, they're not strong enough to protect you because you keep putting yourself in trouble. So you're going to have to work a huge protection ritual to shield you from many different things out there. So the oil, the herbs, and everything I explained in the spell. And if you guys have any questions, you email me at my website or you email me at my Gmail. And I don't think it's wise for you to put all your business down in the comments below, especially if it's something really, really personal. So just check the description box and you'll find all my emails, or go to my Instagram and you'll see all my emails and how to contact me. Like, subscribe, and stay blessed.